So basically, the Vice wrote this article, but what was happening was the anti-work Reddit, right, which we've been sort of talking about. It's pretty funny, right? And there is some sentiment of it where you're just like, yeah, obviously, like, working sucks or whatever, and people can complain about their boss and whatever, right? Be like, can believe this. Fine, maybe. Yeah. That Reddit's fine, right? But they basically did anti-work feminism asks women to imagine a life without work. So Vice has gone sort of full circle where they're at a point where they go, women shouldn't be working.
Women should not be working. Should be at home. Basically, Vice went full Ben Shapiro.
The Vice one, yeah. It is legitimately
But they're more in like a utopian thing.
Feminist, conservative boomer. Trad conservatives, women shouldn't be working.
Yeah.
But their reason for women working.
But they want you to still be paid. Women should still be paid. They just
I guess so. But yeah, so they basically saying that, they say intersectionality now. Remember how people said that whole thing was basically communism? Yeah. Now they actually just have like communism as one of their things. So they've added it, but they said there's no such thing as working hard when you live under capitalism. So feminism now includes women shouldn't have to work because of capitalism.
Yeah. And this is all from Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian.
So they got mad about Kim Kardashian.
This is what set this whole thing off is Kim Kardashian.
And the other girl from the...
Oh yeah. We talked about it. Molly May.
Yeah, the other girl that was on one of those reality shows, they both did kind of like a Gary V. Kevin Hart thing where it's like, you got 24 hours a day, what are you going to do with it? And dudes are sort of allowed to do that because dudes like that message. But when girls say to their girl audiences, I can work hard, you should work hard, girls get really mad about that message. They don't like that message.
It's a defensiveness.
Yeah, so girls really don't like the message of you should work hard, right?
Yeah. Even though there are, as a whole, for sure. Like, there's obviously are lots who are like, yeah, I'm a fucking...
No, but that stuff doesn't resonate with a female fan base.
No. Yeah. The motivation porn.
Motivation porn is way more of a dude
Their
shit.
motivation porn is, like, it's okay to cry 4 hours a day.
Right.
Like, if that's what gets your engine cranked in the morning, give it a good 4-hour cry.
Yeah, and they said, as countless others agreed, there appeared to be a general consensus. Entrepreneurship and working hard in a capitalist society just isn't possible. And it isn't an equal opportunity venture, which is true.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's not like an equal opportunity venture. I guess the argument was that, like, you can get rich, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love there was like this nurse who goes, would love to invite Kim K and Molly May to do a 12.5-hour shift in the NHS, which is the National Health Service or whatever in the UK, with me so they can tell me if the reason I'm not a millionaire yet is because I'm not working hard enough. And you're like, I mean, you're a nurse. Who gets in a nurse to be a millionaire?
Yeah.
You're like, what a nurse makes. They make good livings. But yeah, you're like, there's no nurses who are...
No, that's not the get rich quick scheme.
Yeah. Like, they don't
show your tits, have a sex tape.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, that's not... Like, that, though. You didn't get into nursing for the money.
Well, they're saying... I think that their point is that they should be making as much, you know what I mean? And under a capitalism society, that you should be, I don't know...
well, then how much is the doctor supposed to make?
Well, everyone makes the same, I guess, right?
Oh, they just want
the whole thing.
No, they want a pure communism.
I guess. I mean, I don't know what else could you be arguing for?
I don't think they do, though. I think
what does anti-work want then?
I just think they want, I don't know.
Well, it's a premise fundamentally rooted in intersectional feminist politics. And they said, has nothing to do with laziness. It's just anti-work is not against all work per se, but it is critical of work as it currently exists. So they're concerned with abolishing work as a form of exploitation. Anti-work is the foundational premise behind labor movements, unions, and workers' rights.
There's a bit commie vibes.
I guess so. Yeah, but I think there is both, right? You can still say like, hey, nurses should have unions without saying that like you can't be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, of course. Like, you're not saying like exploit.
But you are right. If you're listening to someone that this is the point where I guess that's why they don't listen to those girls for that reason. But you're right. If you have a nurse and you're like, hey, I have a nurse, here's my job, whatever. There isn't you're right. Maybe you get up to head nurse or whatever. But why are you listening to people that are kind of, you would never want to listen to someone that's like, you just need to grind harder and make more money. And you're like, no, you just have a job and that's what you do.
Yeah, I have a job. I love what I do. I work. This is my schedule. I like my schedule.
So
I
that
like my
grind
benefits. There's like I don't grind.
That
I
grind
work.
message isn't that attractive because it
grinds
doesn't,
is
for what?
purely like
Entrepreneurial spirit.
entrepreneurs. I mean, the point of grind is like I don't have a boss.
Yeah.
You're like you are.
I
like,
used to work 8 hours a day and I quit my job, so now I work 18 hours a day.
Yeah, and they're like, I don't want to work 18 hours a day. I like my job and my schedule.
Yeah.
I have a life and.
Yeah, because even if you're right. You're not going to get rich working 12 hours as a nurse.
No, but also you're like,
But-
okay, well, if you want to make $1 million, then what does the doctor make? And then when he starts making
$2 million.
$5 million or whatever, then you're like, well, he makes too much. And then you're like, okay, well, he'll make less, but then you make less.
It sort of goes on forever, right?
Yeah.
I think what their idea is, if you boiled it all down, is they just don't want people to talk about it.
Yeah.
They don't like the rhetoric. It like goes against their rhetoric.
No.
But it's just so funny having a full circle where you're back to girls shouldn't be working. And you go, why? Feminism.
Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, because Kim Kardashian. So they say, I don't know what any of this has to do with feminism. It sounds like it's kind of like a workers' union type argument. I just don't really understand why. It is this new thing where they kind of really are. They like, oh, feminism's everything. It basically has nothing to do with girls anymore.
I mean, the one thing I will say is really not logical in true female fashion.
Right. There's a lot
of holes here.
I think kind of things that go against each other, right? And the anti-work movement's synonymy with feminist activism was cemented with Kathy Weeks' The Problem with Work, Feminism, Marxism, Anti-Work Policies, which is sort of funny. I don't know why this whole thing just tickles me. The idea of a girl being like writing a book being like the problem with work.
Yeah, the problem with work. This book's $29.99.
Well, you're right, because this person figured out how to be the capitalist thing, where they go decide they're gonna have their own don't work book business.
Oh, I mean, there's nothing better than anti-capitalism people who make tons of money off of that message. That's one of the greatest.
It's also a fun read, though, right? The Problem with Work, Feminism, Marxism, Anti-Work Politics, and Post-Work Imaginaryism. So that's just one of those ones. Maybe you take your once-a-week vacation to Cuba or something. You just want to sit down on the beach with Feminism, Marxism, Anti-Work Policies, and the Post-Work Imaginatarium.
The Imaginatarium.
In 2011. That's, you know what I mean? You're maybe on the plane. That's just a nice read if you're relaxing after a hard day's work.
I think a lot of these ladies are going to like living or working in the metaverse.
They'll love
That'll be
working
a
in the
fun time.
metaverse.
Just pop on your fucking helmet.
Yeah. So, anyways, that one was funny, and then they also did. They had on HuffPo. They did a big article being like the 22 cities where women earn more than men, and it was just funny to me because they're just like, this is so good that women earn more than men, and you go, well, according to your logic, isn't that bad that it's unequal?
Yeah. Well, they have to pretend that all this stuff's not about revenge. Like, we've said it before, but they go, okay, we need 50%, 50-50, but they don't mean 50-50.
Yeah.
They go, what, so we stop?
It's just
hit
funny.
50-50 stuff and we stop? And they go, no.
Well, anyways.
We want to take over like the boys want to take over.
That was a fun one, though.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Sports bras.
I can't believe, dude, they have 1.8 million fucking subs in there.
Oh, Anti-Work's big, dude.
And they call themselves, how every subreddit has a term for them? They call themselves idlers.
Ooh.
1.8 million idlers.
I mean, listen, I get it. If you go to work in a factory and then you're just like, yo, if we get enough people together, what if we could all work less? Like, what if this works and we don't have to work and we get paid money? Why wouldn't you want that?
Yes. I'm also going to say I might be wrong here, but I'm going to guess in terms of actual factory workers in this subreddit, there's going to be pretty close to zero.
So you think it's all people that are kind of college kid graduates or marketers or something?
Yeah. This is not a lot of people who are actually like waking up in the morning at 5 a.m. like punching the like.
Probably not the yeah, you're right, because it has like a feminism undertone.
This is like blue collar people are not communists.
Yeah, these people hate blue collar people.
Exactly, they have real disdain.
It's sort of an
blue-collar.
interesting thing that's where it got to, whereas communists like hate blue collar people.
Yes, even though they're supposed to be representing them, you're like, no, there's no blue collar people would be like, yo, fucking, stop dicking around on the subreddit and go work.
There's almost
like, we don't want to.
There's almost no one that kind of, champagne socialist type people hate more than your average guy that works at a steel mill, right?
Absolutely. Like, they're like, yeah, because they don't want to do that.
Yeah. Thank you for watching that clip, supporting the channel. If you like The Boyscast, there's a new episode every week at patreon.com/TheBoyscast.
That's patreon.com/TheBoyscast.